Thank you. Bismillah. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the third annual alternative graduation. I'm so grateful to be here with all of you tonight. First, congratulations to my fellow graduates. We made it. This moment is a celebration of everything we've become and overcome during our time at New College. This space exists because we need a graduation that fully honors us, a place where students can show up as themselves and celebrate all that they are with dignity. And I want to thank everyone here tonight for coming, and specifically my siblings and my friends for being here. I wish I could stand here and deliver a glowing, inspirational speech that wraps up everything neatly with a bow. But writing this was really hard, harder than I expected, because honestly, this moment is complicated. Over the past few weeks, I've been filled with questions. Did I do enough at New College? Am I satisfied with my time here? And where am I going next? And the honest answer, some of those questions don't have answers right now. I came to New College hoping to build something, to be part of something, and what I got was a front row seat to the dismantling of a place that I believed in. And that's disappointing and infuriating. But I don't need to explain that to you all, the students sitting here. You already know, you've lived it. If you're here today, it means you made it through something that really tried to erase you, to make you very small. You stayed and you created, you fought for your education and for each other, and that is no small thing. But for our family and friends and the press here tonight, let me be clear. This graduating class has endured more than most. Over the past 2 years, we have watched the heart of our college, its faculty, its values, its programs systematically attacked. We have seen professors pushed out, beloved peers forced to leave, entire departments erased, and community traditions upended. Some of us have been harassed for who we are or what we believe in. Many have faced impossible choices to stay or to leave. New College became a battleground, and not by our choosing, but by design. And we still stayed, not because it was easy, but because we refused to surrender something we loved. I've often heard the phrase, existence is resistance, but I don't think I fully understood it until this year as I was writing my thesis on the LGBTQ movement in Morocco. Come on, you didn't think I wouldn't mention my thesis. Of course I have to brag about it. What I found out was the most radical act of queer Moroccans isn't politics or protest, it's community. It's showing up for each other, caring, surviving in a world that tells you not to. You refuse to disappear. You refuse to give up. You refuse to let someone else define what this place could be for you. And that is what we celebrate tonight. This isn't just a graduation, it's a collective act of defiance. And it's recognition of every paper you wrote while grieving, every protest you showed up to while you were exhausted, and every moment you chose to stay. This is a moment to see each other fully as survivors, as scholars, and as artists, as caretakers, and as change makers. But we cannot stop there. Because while we gather here, students elsewhere are not so lucky. I would be remiss not to talk about what is happening in our country and around the world. In recent weeks, over 1,700 student visas have been revoked by the Trump administration, many belonging to Palestinian organizers who dared to speak out. And let's be honest, this is not new. It's part of a global pattern of silencing those who resist. At our own college, students from last year's graduating class faced repercussions for speaking out, for calling for Palestinian liberation and an end to genocide. Some diplomas were temporarily withheld, not for any misconduct, but for expressing their beliefs. We remember that tonight as we hear of students across the country like Mahmoud Khalil, Mohsen Mahdawi, and Rumeisa Oturk, targeted and punished for their courage to speak. I would not feel right standing here without speaking that truth. In Gaza, there are no universities left. None. Israel has destroyed every single one. Thousands of students, just like us, have had their lives destroyed. Their campuses, their libraries, their classrooms, their futures are wiped out. I say this because it matters who we grieve and who we fight for. This is not a conflict. This is not collateral damage. It's a deliberate destruction of a people and their right to live. It's a genocide. So as we celebrate ourselves tonight, we must also hold space for them. We must carry them with us. We must say their names. We must remember that their struggle is our struggle too, because liberation is not a zero-sum game. Their freedom is tied to ours, and we must not look away. Because when we say existence is resistance, we don't just mean hanging on by a thread. We mean imagining and building a world where everyone has the right to learn and to live, to love, and to be free. So to the class of 2025, you are proof that even under difficult times, brilliance still grows, that community holds, and that joy breaks through. You showed up for each other again and again, and you didn't just survive, you made it through something meaningful. You made something meaningful out of this mess. I'm so proud to be one of you. Congratulations, truly. We see you, we celebrate you, and we carry this fight forward. Once a Novo, always a Novo. And now, I have the honor of introducing a Novo who knows a thing or two about carrying things forward. Olivia Mickelson has been a force on this campus, leading with heart, with humor, and with a truly terrifying Google Calendar. She's the outgoing student body president, a member of the board of trustees, yes, that board, and someone who's never stopped fighting for students, even when the odds felt impossible. We work together at the Novo Collegian Student Alliance, our student government, and I can say without a doubt that no one handled classes, a thesis, and an endless stream of back-to-back meetings quite like she did. She's been a leader, an advocate, a steady hand, and a voice for students, often all at once. Please join me in welcoming my friend Olivia Mickelson.
We did it. Congratulations, class of 2025. Your strong work ethic, dedication, and resilience have paid off, and now we are beginning to see the rewards of all our hard work. After thesising and completing all of this coursework, I found writing this speech really difficult because I didn't know how to put my new college experience into 10 minutes. So I'm giving some words of thanks and some hope for as we move into the next chapter of our lives. I wanted to begin by thanking our communities for their support throughout our education. An enormous thank you to the faculty for making our dreams a reality, helping us navigate study abroad, conduct research, plan our futures, graduate early, build portfolios for graduate school when we felt like everything around us was changing so quickly. So I want to extend the greatest thanks to the faculty. Thank you for all of your hard work while teaching and advising. Thank you to our families for their support and guidance throughout the past few years. To our peers and friends for creating joy, even in times where it seemed like there was so little. To the local Sarasota community for their involvement on campus and their support in our lives, and to everyone in the audience for showing up on this big day. I just wanted to send a huge thank you to you all for being here. And I know it's a really sad time right now, but I also know there are some reasons that we are thankful to be going. Thankful to be moving out of the moldy dorms. Thankful to be moving away from dining halls with food that we can barely eat. And sometimes it sounds like a construction zone. You knock it with a knife and nothing happens. Thankful to be moving away from the long, hot walks as it gets closer to summer, where maybe we met our best friends, but maybe the sweat was too much some days. And I'm sure we're most thankful for the ability to meet in public spaces without worry of the police coming to tell us to shut down our events. As we leave, we're boxing up items from our past and experiences, a corset from Vampire Coup, a mug from an old job, a photo from photo booth, maybe first year, and for me, quite possibly, too much tea. So a question remains: what can we bring with us into this next chapter of our lives? Besides all the boxes of clothes from Goodwill, maybe classes where we had to print too many papers and all of the folders that came with that, and all of our great friendships and memories. What comes with us? Transferable skills. So we may stay close, we may live at home or move abroad, we may graduate, go to grad school, med school, care for family, volunteer, travel, but I found a few things that I think we're all going to bring with us when we leave. And I know we've heard a lot recently about the great benefits of going to a liberal arts college. We've heard about how it benefits employers, donors, and society, but it rarely talks about us as individuals. So I know our experiences here at New College in particular are going to shape the way we move forward and shape how we support our lives and our careers. So I'm giving 4 skills that hopefully will help you all. And you're welcome to take notes, put it on a cover letter. I know the job market's a little rough. So the first is research. Between ISPs, building a thesis, and mentally preparing for the next Socratic stage, students have developed great research skills, such as when Russell Brand was planning on coming to campus. New College students asked the right questions, conducted background research, read available records, interpreted their findings, and communicated those concerns and findings to a diverse audience. I think that is a skill that wherever you go, it shows critical thinking, it shows the ability to synthesize information, and I think that will bring you a lot of success in your lives. So congratulations for that. Next, written communication. Through participating in the forum, I've calculated that New College students have an above average reading and typing speed, which was made most apparent in this email thread. Before I begin, I want to mention that I did change some of the wording to be more inclusive of families. To the sick person, doing it in the banyan tree. It is written by someone in this audience. On May 13th, 2023, with over 100 replies in several hours. This shows a great level of responsiveness, dedication, and creativity that any grad school or any employer would be happy to have. Third is adaptability. We have been through a lot of change in the past few years. While navigating the fast-paced world of education, we've struggled with changes to policy, politics of Florida, the United States, and we've had to adapt to this world around us. There have been changes to housing, student conduct, changes to the student body, the staff, and faculty, as well as switching food providers from Metz to Aramark. So I'm very proud of you all for your resilience in working through these. Over the past few years, you have reassessed educational plans, financial aid, research, and I understand how difficult that is to work through, and I'm really proud of you all for where we are now. We have overcome challenges and made it to this moment, showing our resilience as individuals and as a community. Congratulations. And last, self-motivation. I know this was sort of a bit of a joke when we got here. New College is a very student-led community. Not only was it student-led in the years prior to 2023, however, once there was the takeover of the Board of Trustees, we have had to work above and beyond in order to advocate for ourselves, our needs, and that of our communities. Through starting new clubs, holding multiple campus jobs, organizing and attending protests, and developing community initiatives. Our time here speaks to our strengths and care for this community and our motivation to make it a better place. We will take all of these skills with us, and so many more, and all of our memories as well. And as we go on into the world, we will be told that we're too young. We will be told that we may not have enough lived experience to understand certain ways of the world. However, they don't understand New College, and they don't know you individually and what you have been through in the past few years. New College has given us all of us a much more complex understanding of our state, our country, and the world than we would receive at most universities. And don't let their ignorance silence you. And don't let their doubts silence your curiosity. As I reflect on my time at New College, I have several hopes moving forward. I hope that we recenter students in conversations on higher education, ensuring that their voices, needs, and lived experiences shape institutional practices, rather than politics or PR. I hope that as we move on to the next part of our lives, we recognize the strengths shown in getting to this moment, our resilience and our courage. I hope that we continue using our resilience and our courage to speak against injustices and to work as advocates in support of systems that support equity, dignity, and opportunity for all people. Also, I hope that we have a moment to rest after graduation. We've worked really hard to get to this moment. We have put in so much time in our thesis, all of our coursework. Maybe you have 2 or 3 clubs that you run. But take a moment to rest and really appreciate the work that you've put in. And then begin building routines of community and self-care wherever you land. And I hope most of all, we celebrate because we've earned it. Congratulations to the class of 2025. Thank you.
How's everyone doing? Can you guys hear me back there? A lot of people say I have a very quiet voice, so you'll have to bear with me in the back of the audience. Before I get started, I just want to say a couple thank yous. Thank you to all my friends back home in New Jersey and New York, my siblings, my cousins, my teachers, my mentors, and everyone at New College for the unrelenting love and support all these years. Thank you for the alums and especially the graduating students who gave so many countless hours to plan, set up, and make this event a possibility for us. And an extra special thank you to my auntie, Kate Muldowney. Without her endless kindness and generosity, I would have never made it to graduation, let alone gotten into college in the first place. 4 years ago, before I ever got to take a class here at New College, pulled an all-nighter to study for a comp sci midterm, attended a center of the universe party, or let my friends convince me to climb way too high up into the banyan tree, I was working 60-hour weeks in a dingy Brooklyn kitchen, barely scraping by under the poverty line. A series of tragic health issues cost me my job and soon after my apartment. And there I was at 19 years old. I had no home, no money, and seemingly no future. I found myself living unhoused, jumping between friends' couches, and even sleeping in a tent in the woods. All the while battling Lyme's disease, mono, and kidney stones at the same time. A trifecta I would not recommend anyone trying in the audience. Like so many people, I didn't have it the easiest growing up. I faced a lot of financial hardship, and like many, I had to start working full-time when I turned 15 just to help scrape by and pay for things like food and groceries. And honestly, most of my youth really felt like an uphill battle. So let's just say college wasn't really on the table for me or in my mind. In fact, the idea of attending university at all felt like a dream that people of my background just would never even have the opportunity to pursue. Yet standing here today on this stage, I almost have to pinch myself that what used to be such a distant dream has now become my reality. And while my personal struggles may seem a little tough to some, I can assure you that my story is anything but unique. Getting to know all the wonderful people in my class these past 3 years, I've learned at least one thing, that every single person graduating today in this crowd has their own story of pain, of loss, of setbacks and defeats, but even more so, a story of perseverance and success. Now, as you can probably tell by my outfit tonight, I'm not the most traditional guy. Maybe there was just something in that New Jersey water when I was born. Who knows? But since as long as I can remember, I've been labeled. Labeled different, eccentric, weird, and a lot worse words I'm probably not allowed to say on this stage tonight. You know, throughout my childhood and to this very day, my peers have loved to make my differences very known to me. When I was young, this kind of thing actually really hurt me. Between the bullying, the teasing, and alienation, people seemed to find 1,000,001 ways to make me feel bad and lesser because of my differences. And my childhood self wanted nothing more in this world than to try to fit in this normal box that everyone else wanted me to fit into. And I know that so many of my friends and fellow graduates in the audience know this feeling all too well. Whether you're neurodivergent, queer, you like wearing a little bit too much color, whatever the standard or norm you defy is, people will always try to put you down and make you feel ashamed of your differences. And you know, it took me years and years and years to figure out exactly what it was that made these people so uncomfortable and upset with my differences. The conclusion I came to was shockingly simple. Those people were scared. Scared of anyone who doesn't fit their mold because it challenges their fragile sense of comfort. Scared of anyone who dares to question tradition and popular beliefs in case it might make them question their own. Scared of people willing to try and walk a different path in life in fear that it might be better than the one they are on. But while those people live in fear and insecurity, your divergence, your difference, every little single thing that makes you unique has helped you become quite the opposite of those people. Because every day that you deny the status quo and what others seek to make you, you become that much stronger, that much more fearless, and that much more resilient. Because let me tell you, no great leader was ever made, no world-changing innovation discovered, no grand achievement ever met by staying in your lane, trying to fit in, and being like everybody else. And you know the class... And you know the class of 2025 hasn't just had to meet the challenges of a prestigious and rigorous honors degree program, but simultaneously hurdle a consistent plight of new challenges since the sweeping changes made 3 years ago. People have tried to get rid of your major, make you feel uncomfortable, make you feel unsafe, to do anything to stop you from walking across this stage tonight. And struggle is quite an understatement, isn't it? For so many, the past few years have been painful, depressing, demoralizing, and maybe even hopeless. But against all odds, you did it. You have defied all expectations, accomplished what so many have tried to bar you from. You didn't just survive, but you thrived. And no other degree program in this country can provide the unique and powerful kind of resilience this has all earned you. So if I leave this college with one plea, one more single request to my fellow graduates, it's this. When the next person comes to tell you no, to demean you and to get in your way, remember everything you conquered to get to this moment today. They told us to be silent, and we got louder. They told us to stay in line, and we got bolder. They told us to shrink back down, and we just stood up taller. Because the class of 2025 didn't bend under pressure. No, we became unbreakable.
Congratulations, everyone. Whether this is your only ceremony or the first of two, know that you have just begun the rest of your life. That every day you are beginning the rest of your life. And the decision to keep going every morning is not one to scoff at. I am extremely proud of all of us for making it out on the other side. Before we turn you to pictures and dancing for the night, I would like to say a few things, and I will keep this brief. The point of a ceremony like this is to honor the process of moving on, and to honor the process of getting to the point of moving on. This cohort is a mixed one. Not all of us are in the same grade. Without dwelling too much on the past, something changed in each of us which pushed us to leave before the time was proper. In talking to my fourth-year friends, I have heard the refrain that they are finally getting out and just excited to be done. Exhaustion is normal for college students, but what we are about to feel will be serious. And still, I have seen so many smiles today. At New Commencement, we hope to have given you, graduates, the care and attention you deserve in a place like this. I don't know how much time you've spent on the overpass recently, but I invite you to pay close attention the next time that you do. If there's one trait that new college students have always embodied, like the vines which shaded our walks to class, is the capacity to bounce back. They're growing again. To steal the ending sentiment from Dr. Nguyen's book, I want you all to know that the fight will always be possible no matter how long you step away. We will live. The sun is setting now, or will be soon, so please feel free to take pictures outside, but please come back because there will be a band called Dead End Collective playing, and I think you would all enjoy it, and also there's food and drinks. Thank you guys. Congratulations.